What if I told you that the coffee in your hand right now could be worth $2 million? Not the coffee, the money you just spent on it. Stay with me for the next 10 minutes because I'm going to show you, using nothing but simple math and one ordinary guy, exactly how $10 a day can quietly become a fortune or quietly disappear forever. The choice is happening right now, and most people don't even notice they're making it. Meet Dave, 25 years old, normal job, normal apartment, normal Tuesday. His alarm goes off. He grabs his keys and swings by the coffee shop on the corner. A caramel latte, $6, gone before he even sits down at his desk. Around 3 p.m., his stomach growls, so he walks to the vending machine down the hall. Chips and a soda, $4. That's $10 spent before lunch is even fully digested. Some days, it's a latte and a snack. Other days, it's a fast food drive-thru or just one thing on Amazon at midnight that he forgets about by morning. The amount changes, but the pattern doesn't. $10 a day, give or take, just leaks out of his life. It never feels like a big deal. It's $10. You can't even fill up half a tank of gas with that anymore. But let's do the math anyway. $10 a day is $70 a week. That's $300 a month. That's $3,665 a year. Over a 40-year working life, Dave will hand over roughly $146,000 for coffee he doesn't remember and snacks he doesn't remember either. That money didn't disappear, it just went somewhere else. The question is, what if it had gone somewhere for him instead? One afternoon, Dave's coworker Mia pulls up an app on her phone. It's a simple investment account. Every single day, $10 moves out of her checking account and into a basic stock market index fund, the same kind of fund that quietly owns tiny slices of companies like Apple, Microsoft, and thousands of others. Dave laughs. "It's $10, Mia. What's that really going to do?" Mia just smiles. "That's exactly what I thought too. Let me show you." Here's the part school never really taught us. Money that's invested doesn't just sit there. It grows, and then the growth grows. Picture a snowball at the top of a hill. You give it one push. At first, it barely picks up any snow. It's small, it's slow, it doesn't look like much. But the further it rolls, the bigger it gets, and the bigger it gets, the more snow it picks up with every turn. Eventually, that same snowball you could have held in one hand is now a boulder you couldn't move if you tried. That's what happens when you invest money instead of spending it. In year one, your $10 a day might earn a little bit of growth. But in year two, you're not just earning growth on your new money, you're earning growth on last year's growth too. Money, making more money. Financial people call this compound interest. I call it the snowball. Small, slow, boring, until suddenly it isn't. The catch? A snowball needs a long hill, and that's exactly where most people quit, right before the interesting part even starts. So Dave decides to try it. He sets up an account just like Mia's. Every day, $10 moves automatically into a simple index fund. He barely notices it leaving, the same way he never noticed it leaving for coffee. We're going to check in on Dave's account at 5 different birthdays. And to keep the math honest, we'll use the long-term historical average return of the stock market, which is about 10% a year. Real returns go up and down year to year. Nobody can promise the future. But over long stretches of time, this is roughly what patient, steady investing has historically produced. Dave, age 30, 5 years in. He's put in about $18,000 total. His account, just over $23,000. Growth is there, but it's quiet. This is the boring part. The snowball is still small. Dave, age 35, 10 years in. He's contributed $36,500. His balance, around $61,000. For the first time, the growth is bigger than what he's putting in. The snowball is starting to roll on its own. Dave, age 45, 20 years in. Total contributed $73,000. Account balance, roughly $228,000. He's put in $73,000, and the market has handed him an extra $155,000 just for waiting. Dave, age 55, 30 years in. He's contributed about $109,000 across 3 decades. His account now sits around $678,000, 6 times what he put in. Dave, age 65, retirement. Total money out of his pocket over his entire working life, $146,000, the exact same amount he would have spent on coffee and snacks anyway. His account balance, just under $1.9 million. Same $10, same 40 years. One version disappears into vending machines. The other version buys him a retirement. Now here's the part that surprises almost everyone, including Dave. Let's rewind. Imagine Dave had only invested his $10 a day for 10 years, from age 25 to 35, and then stopped completely. No more contributions ever. He just left that money alone, untouched, invested for the next 30 years. Meanwhile, picture his friend Alex, who didn't start until age 35, but who invested $10 a day faithfully without missing a beat for 30 straight years until age 65. Alex put in 3 times more money out of pocket than Dave did, about $109,000 compared to Dave's $36,500. So who ends up with more at 65? Dave does, not by a little, by over $500,000. Dave's 10 years of contributions, left alone to compound for 3 extra decades, grow to roughly $1.2 million. Alex's 30 years of faithful contributions land around $678,000. Dave invested for 1/3 of the time, put in 1/3 of the money, and still came out ahead by more than $500,000. That's not luck, that's time. In investing, when you start will almost always matter more than how much you start with. Here's the truth hiding underneath all of this. You don't need a huge salary. You don't need to pick the perfect stock. You don't need to time the market or wait until you have real money to start. You need $10, a little patience, and the discipline to leave it alone. The version of Dave who becomes a millionaire isn't smarter, luckier, or richer than the version who spends it on coffee. He just decided, on one ordinary Tuesday, to let his money roll downhill instead of handing it away one small purchase at a time. $10 today feels invisible. $10 a day for 40 years is the difference between working until you're 70 and choosing not to. Small, boring, repeated. That's the whole secret. Consistency doesn't feel dramatic in the moment, but given enough time, it beats almost everything else. So here's my challenge to you. The next time you're about to spend $10 on something you won't even remember tomorrow, pause for 1 second and ask yourself, could this be my first snowball? Drop a comment below with your age right now. I want to calculate exactly what your $10 a day could grow into by the time you retire. And if this video changed the way you look at $10, hit subscribe, because next time we're breaking down exactly how to open your very first investment account, step by step, in under 10 minutes. Your snowball is waiting at the top of the hill. All it needs is one push.